Hello. Show's over. No guest today. We'll see you.
Bye-bye. See ya. Hi, Seth. How are you?
Okay, except my camera's all messed up. I didn't even notice that.
Looks all right to me. What's wrong with it?
See, there's like this big space up top.
Oh, yeah. I do see that.
I didn't even notice. My camera's all weird.
You
I don't know what happened to it.
Tip it down or something.
Yeah, well, good luck with that. I got one leg, dude. And so, kind of getting up at this point in time is kind of not going to happen.
That's fine. There you go.
There, I kicked it with a good leg.
There you go. It's a good thing you didn't sell that other leg like we talked about on Monday.
Chop it off.
That's right.
So our guest for today canceled because apparently there's more important things to do than this show. But
yes.
I won't get into that. But it's an understandable,
it's a legit reason.
It's a legit reason, so I'll let it slide this time.
Yeah.
But
we made room for him to return to the show, not just be on the show, but to return to the show.
He'll be returning to the show.
So it's all good.
And we do have Mario coming on from Mario's Barbershop at some point here. He's freaking me out. He's sitting down there, so it's like he's just staring at us while we're talking. It's freaking me out a little bit.
You know what? He's got that little box thing going with his camera. I'm not sure what it is. I'm hoping it's not like a drone strike getting ready to hit or something. I keep seeing the little box adjusted to him whenever he moves.
Yeah, it's
and I'm hoping it's
not his own setup, I think, like his own little podcast setup at home. But like the way that it is, like it's kind of freaking me out a little. But
that's good.
Talk to him in a little bit. He's doing something very good for the finest people of Ohio.
Yeah.
We do have Tony Masaccio at some point coming on.
Yeah, I was watching his. Oh, that's right. He didn't send a video again.
No, but he did send me. It's kind of a video, but it's not really a video. It's kind of a where he's going to be.
Okay.
It looks like he's going to be taking like cooking classes.
Oh, all right. That could be fun.
So we'll talk to him after 5:00 today.
Very cool.
We do have that story that you sent that I want to get into. I want to play something that I thought was funny.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, I don't know if you like Jon Stewart.
Not a huge. I mean, he's flip-flop king, so not especially. He has no integrity with me. I do laugh sometimes at some of the stuff he says.
That's the thing. Is that like, look, I mean, he was a liberal, then he wasn't, or then he was, and this, that, and whatever. I still find what he says slightly entertaining.
Sure.
And this goes to the point of the country that we live in today.
Okay.
Horrible, horrible, violent imagery.
Violent and dehumanizing imagery.
We're only going to show you a clip of this briefly.
All right, that's enough. Let's take it down.
I didn't get to see it at all. This has got to be devastating. News channels show images from Ukraine, from Gaza, from natural disasters. They get through them dispassionately. I can't imagine how devastating this footage must be.
Former President Donald Trump shared a video, this one, on his Truth Social account featuring an image of President Joe Biden hogtied on the back of a pickup truck.
That's what was so disturbing and dehumanizing. You wouldn't show it on television and an airbrushed Biden decal on the back of a truck? Aren't you the same networks that show reruns of 9/11 every year? I mean, I don't think it's great that Trump is posting things like this, but it's not like people really think Joe Biden was tied up in the back of the truck.
It's a doctored image, but it's plastered on the tailgate of the pickup truck. So if you're driving behind it, it would appear as if Joe Biden were actually restrained on the vehicle's flatbed.
If you think that's really Joe Biden tied up on the back of the pickup truck, I don't know that you have the mental acuity to be operating a motor vehicle. But if you do think that, I should also probably explain to you that trucks also don't actually have testicles. It's just a novelty item. And it's not as though when an F-150 and a Silverado love each other very much, they get one of these. It's not.
It's funny.
I mean, the fact that mainstream media like CNN and MSNBC would actually get upset because there's a tailgate that has a decal on it. But usually I don't really care for a lot of that late night Comedy Central stuff. But
sure.
Jon Stewart is kind of funny at times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder why those networks had no problem when Kathy Griffin was holding up the severed head pictures of Donald Trump.
Well, because it was Donald Trump. Of course.
So that wasn't so dehumanizing, right?
You can do whatever it is you want to do as long as Donald Trump is in the words.
It's the butt of the joke, right?
Like Madonna can sit there and say, "I would like to blow up the White House."
Yeah, well, that's all right.
And as long as it was because Trump was in it, it's okay.
Right.
If we were to say that today, most likely there'd be somebody at the door by the time the show's over.
Right.
Except nobody really cares about what we say.
Yeah, well, there's that too.
Yeah. But if we were somewhat popular, then, it would be something.
A year from now, when we're doing 20,000 viewers a show, then it would be something.
I sat and watched, there's some clips on YouTube today that I just saw of, like, other podcasts, like Joe Rogan.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember the name of some of these other ones. But, I mean, none of them were really great, but they were okay. Joe Rogan's really good. But I was a little bit envious about, the way that they shoot their show.
Okay.
And I think that, at some point, when we expand a little bit more, we need to change the way we shoot this damn thing. Like they have like nice couches and chairs that are all comfy and shit to like sit back and like they have cameras all over the place and they kind of switch shots and shit and make it all look all. So when we moved to like Billy's studio for a couple of times, I went like a chair to sit in.
Well, we can do that. I mean, that's kind of what we're building out there at the studio is a podcasting environment like that. So, yeah, we'll be able to do that when we go out there. And again, we're just using StreamYard. If we were using OBS, then you can set it up a whole lot different, which I know how to do. It's a real pain in the ass to maintain as well as hosting at the same time.
I mean, right now, I enjoy the way that we do this because, we're not having to travel or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly.
But looking at some of those other ones, I was like, man, it would be really nice to sit in like a big, huge, fuzzy, comfy chair and shit.
Right.
And be all happy. But, it's fine. I like this little setup we got. That would be good too.
Yeah, there you go.
The leg could be like a prop. Like it could be a lamp. We could make like a lamp out of it for the show.
The leg cam.
Yeah, we'll have a leg cam. Maybe get it sponsored by somebody.
Yeah, why not? Maybe Mario would sponsor it.
Mario's Barbershop could sponsor the leg cam.
That's right.
Like we could put hair on it, and then like every week make a segment where Mario like shaves the hair off the leg.
There you go. I'm sure that's what he wants his barbershop to be known for. The place that shaves Seth's fake leg.
All right, he's sitting there. I'm going to ask him.
All right.
Mario.
Yes.
If we had a segment on the show called Mario's Barbershop Leg Cam, and every week you would have to shave the leg hair off the fake leg, I mean, that would be good, right?
Why not? Why not? It'd be better than watching kids twirl Joe Biden's hair.
There you go. So now we've already taken care of one segment.
There we go. All right.
All right, we'll be back to you, Mario. Hang on.
Thanks.
So he's in, and I'm ready to go with that.
Oh, there you go.
I am still celebrating the fact that it is Limb Loss and Limb Difference Appreciation Month.
Well, you should. It's only the third of the month. You got another, 28 days.
It is taking off. I'm telling you, people have been sending me pictures of the ribbon, which is orange, and it's very exciting.
How come you're not wearing one?
I haven't actually got a regular ribbon yet. I have been sent images of ribbons.
Right.
Although today, I was actually, I don't know when yet, but I was asked to speak at a place that has a whole bunch of amputees at like a group kind of thing, and talk to people that are like me, and give words of wisdom or inspiration, whatever you want to call it. And I said that I would do that, so I guess they're going to work on that.
Very good. That'll be good. Where's this at? Can you say?
It's on Lorraine.
Okay. Is it a college? Is it a VFW type of a deal? What is it?
Let me look it up here. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
You don't say exactly, but what kind of business is it?
I'm looking. Hang on. Let's see. North. It's an amputee support group.
Okay.
But they apparently have a lot of members, a lot of people that go, and so I think I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, why not? Dude, I go and do the burn support thing every once in a while. Not as often as I probably should. Certainly not as often as I get asked, but about every year or two I go and I show up somewhere. And I talk about burn stuff as much as I can. I don't really live it. So, I mean, I live it in that I've been through it, but I don't live it day to day. So I don't, I always feel kind of weird going in there talking to people that are like mired in it,
Right.
But, I probably should do it a little more, be a little more giving of my time.
I mean, I have been inspired by the fact that I've seen you actually talk to people, and you're like, yeah, I know that somebody from like UK or somebody.
I spoke at the this college, in the UK. I did do that,
and so I'm inspired by that, and then also the fact that I remember when I got out of the hospital looking for, like support groups or something like that, because I didn't know what I was doing. My daughter had gone on vacation for like a month and a half. I was sitting at home. My wife had to go back to work, and you sit there and go, what am I going to do? And I was thinking maybe there is a support group or something like that out there. I never did find one. Maybe I didn't look hard enough. But now that I was asked to speak at something like that, I think that I should do that. I'm looking forward to doing that.
Well, I've told you before, dude, there's a book in there for you to write, too.
Well, that I have to do.
There's definitely a book in there, and people would read it. You'd be amazed how many people, dude. I get emails from people that read my book from all over this planet, and they're always like, "Oh, you're so inspiring." And I'm like, "Am I?" I'm like, I'm just a regular shithead, that made it to the other side, I guess. But I don't look at it as anything other than just telling the truth.
And that's one thing that I said to the guy. I said, I'm not sure how good I'll be at something like that, but I'm more than happy to do it.
Sure. So. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I think so.
Do you get a free lunch?
It does say food provided.
There you go. Then do it. Of course. Then you do it.
Do you want to see another video?
Go ahead.
It's a video. That Robert Hur investigation that they were doing about Biden, why they found out that he's not going to stand charges against the stealing of the documents.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where they called him too old and feeble.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, apparently it came out as to what some of that said.
Okay.
The Justice Department finally releasing the highly anticipated transcripts of Biden's interview with special counsel Robert Hur. 5 hours of Biden unscripted. Our producers spent all day reading this, and now we understand what Robert Hur meant when he called Biden painfully slow. The transcripts confirm that Biden didn't remember when his son died, when he was vice president, or when Trump was elected. Biden had to be reminded multiple times throughout his interview what a fax machine was. And whenever he was redirected to focus on the question at hand, he'd launch into wacky stories weirder than corn pop. For instance, when the special counsel asked why he moved classified documents from the Naval Observatory, Biden claimed he'd won an international torts competition in law school and then shared a story of a 23-year-old who was wearing the wrong pants, wrong jeans when a spark caught fire and he lost one of his testicles. Biden called himself a frustrated architect who went to Mongolia where he shot bow and arrows with sumo wrestlers. Biden said he had great aim and put everyone in Mongolia to shame. At one point, Biden asked special counsel Hur if he saw, quote, risque pictures of my wife in a bathing suit, which you probably did. She's beautiful. When asked about his classified documents in the garage, Biden bragged he went on Leno with his Corvette and started making car noises. Quote, all you do is you take your foot off the brake and vroom, vroom. Joe Biden complained that the Secret Service was driving him crazy because they wouldn't let him drive. So Biden would drive back and forth in his own driveway. Quote, I'd get it to the bottom of the driveway, tack it up to about $4,000 and vroom, vroom. Yeah, the president making more car noises. Now, if you were a prosecutor conducting a deposition, you're asking about highly sensitive national security secrets, and the subject starts revving his engine and pretending to hit the clutch, you know he's not fit to stand trial.
That's our leader. That's our guy. 4 more years.
I can't wait.
Oh, my God. Are you kidding me?
This is what we have to look forward to, my friend. There's a very real possibility that he'll win.
I know. That's just frightening. Not that he would win. That he would get one vote. That he would get one vote is frightening. Let alone probably 10 million that'll be multiplied by 10.
80 million people voted for that guy.
Sure they did.
It doesn't have to be unbiased when it's just facts that they're reading. I mean, you can make fun of them all you want, but that's the case, right?
I guess so. I mean, he's reading the transcript.
I'm assuming this person.
Maybe that's Heidi's new name.
It could be.